Welcome to ESPN Super Tuesday, presented by Progressive. A little snow in the area earlier today, but not as bad as was expected, and it hasn't prevented 20,000 plus from coming to Rupp Arena to see another heavyweight SEC battle. Number 5 Tennessee, number 15 Kentucky in this ESPN Sonic blockbuster. Week after week, the matchups are so good in this league, and let's take you back 2 weeks ago in Knoxville, Kentucky, undermanned. No Lamont Butler, very limited time from Andrew Carr, but Kobe Brea, 18 points. Jackson Robinson, 17 points. The Wildcats shot 50% from three, made 12 of 24 from beyond the arc, and what do? They got out of Knoxville with a win. For more on that, here's Molly McGrath.
Well, Dan, embarrassment and disgust. Those are the two words that Zakai Ziegler used to describe how he felt when he watched back film from that game. He said he was most disappointed by their lack of effort and energy on defense, pointing to moments where they were standing upright passively on defense rather than down in an active stance. And he vowed, we will not see that tonight, promising this team will be angry and on edge the entire game to avenge the loss that he says changed this team and force them to mature. Guys.
Molly, thank you. And let's be honest, Tennessee's always a little angry and on edge. They play such a physical style. They want to avenge that loss. What are you looking for tonight?
Well, oftentimes with Kentucky and Tennessee, we talk about their guards, but you mentioned physicality. Their big guys are going to be really important in this game. For Kentucky, Amari Williams, the big lefty that they run so much offense through. He's an excellent handler and passer, also an outstanding rebounder and rim protector. And for Tennessee, Igor Milicic has been on a heater of late. Rick Barnes has challenged him to be more productive. Earlier this season against Arkansas, had 18 rebounds in a game, a very skilled stretch forward that can knock down threes as well as go inside.
That is tonight's Sonic blockbuster. Boy, Rupp never fails to disappoint. Keep in mind, though, even with a win over South Carolina on the weekend, Kentucky has lost 4 out of 6. They have struggled at times at the defensive end. We'll see what tonight holds for these two programs. We are ready for the tip of our Sonic blockbuster matchup. And it'll be Zakai Ziegler and Tennessee with the first possession of the night.
Lamont Butler on Zakai Ziegler and Oweh guarding Chaz Lanier, their best shooter.
An immediate steal by Lamont Butler, and he'll lay it in.
Lamont Butler is such a strong on-ball defender.
Two of the best defensive guards in America, Butler and Ziegler, guarding one another, and it just got twice as loud in this place after that play by Butler. Just his second game back after missing 3 with a shoulder injury. Jahmai Mashack loses it. And Amari Williams has it for Kentucky as we show you the starting 5. No Jackson Robinson tonight. Out with a right wrist injury, Kobe Brea moves into the starting lineup. Ansley Almonor continues to start. Andrew Carr is back, is getting better, is available, but he'll come off the bench. Oweh, and it's a quick 4-0 lead for Kentucky.
Kentucky going right into action. 2 guys heading off, and Oweh gets right to the rim with a nice little drop-off pass from Williams. He's an excellent passer.
The Tennessee starting 5, including Chaz Lanier, one of the best shooters in the SEC. Milicic had a big game against UK last time, 19-9. Felix Okpara misses the running hook.
Good challenge by Williams. He's got long arms. He blocks under 2 shots a game, but he can block shots.
And they run a lot of offense through Williams at this end of the floor. He had a triple-double last week in a loss at Ole Miss. 12 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists. And but for the foul, he would have had an assist there. Ansley Almonor is going to go to the line.
Anytime Williams has the ball, you have to cut hard because he will find you. And then on the ball, if you show it, try to cross over in front of him, he can just time that. He took it right out of the hands of Zakai Ziegler, an excellent ball handler. There's that split action, and Oweh getting all the way to the other side of the basket for an easy layup. Kentucky has been very sharp with their cutting it movement to start this game.
And up 5-0 after the first free throw from Almonor, again starting in place of Andrew Carr in recent games as Carr continues to round into form from a back injury. By the way, not a big deal at all, but you make a great pass, a guy gets fouled and makes the free throws, give the passer an assist.
You should get an assist.
Absolutely.
Well, we should go to hockey assist. The pass that leads to an assist should get an assist as well.
6-0 Kentucky early. Milicic into Okpara. Jump hook short, follow, good, and a foul.
Nobody got a body on Igor Milicic, and he was able to sprint to the rim and get that stick back. He's setting a screen, and as soon as that shot goes up, he goes right to the rim. And neither Lamont Butler or Hensley Almonor could get a body on him, just a quick run to the rim.
He's a really talented and interesting player because you think of him as a stretch four, but he's all around the rim getting rebounds and fighting and bumping with guys down there as well. He can hurt you inside and outside.
Yeah, there's nothing in the definition of stretch four that says you can't rebound or go inside.
He had 18 rebounds in a game earlier in a conference play against Arkansas. Again, a lot of offense running through Williams, the Drexel transfer. Oweh, guarded by one of the best defensive players in the country in Jemai Mashak. Now a switch. Milicic on him. Oweh no. And Milicic the rebound.
Not enough movement and cutting on that possession against a really physical Tennessee defense. You have to move that defense first.
Tennessee needs to knock down outside shots, whether it's Lanier, here he goes, and he won't hit the first. Milicic keeps it alive and earns another possession for the Vols.
So Kobe Brea was trying to box out Milicic. He just couldn't keep him off the glass. Milicic just went right over the top of him. When you're smaller boxing out, you really have to get lower and use leverage. Get into your opponent's legs.
Inbounded to Ziegler. Milicic right down low to Okpara again, and he lost it on the way up, and a foul called on Amari Williams. Rick Barnes, in his 38th season as a Division I head coach, well over 800 wins, took this team to the Elite Eight last year, and they've got their sights on getting all the way to the Final Four. Coach Barnes has been there once with Texas back in 2003, but he certainly has a team, Jay, if they can be good at the offensive end, capable of making it to the Final Four.
I agree. And last year he had a team capable of making it to the Final Four. He just ran into Purdue and Zach Edey, the team they played earlier in the season. But that Elite Eight game was a great game. It's just Edey was a force that hardly any teams could deal with except for UConn.
You can make a case that Tennessee is the best defensive team in the nation. They certainly are in the top 3 or 4, no matter what metrics you look at. They are averaging, giving up fewer than 60 points per game on the season. But on the other side, Kentucky is one of the best offensive teams in the nation. They are without Jackson Robinson, but they still have a lot of other weapons.
Kentucky's got 2 of the 10 best defenders in the country in Ziegler and Mashak.
Mashak down with a rebound. Boy, what a voice he has in practice. However many coaches they have, add one, because Jemai Mashak gets everybody set up, and he's always giving advice and asking questions. And he's not the biggest scorer in the world, but Jemai Mashak has been a huge part of this program in his time in Knoxville.
He brings unbelievable energy on the defensive end, on the glass. He can handle the ball. But his defensive prowess, he just gets right up underneath you and never gives up on a play.
Mashak sits. Jordan Gainey will come in for the Vols, and also Cade Phillips is into the game in the place of Okpara. Andrew Carr, and that's Travis Perry with the ball, have checked in for Kentucky. Kriisa still out. He's been out a couple of months with a broken foot. Robinson gets some point guard time as Williams floats it up, no good. But Perry will play, it looks like, as the backup to Lamont Butler tonight, with Kentucky shorthanded in the backcourt. Milicic, the spin. Crowd wanted to walk. Lanier gets a good look, can't hit it. And it's going to be a foul against the Vols. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. And in part by Sonic, an official sponsor of the SEC. Live free, beat Sonic. 2 weeks ago when these two teams met in Knoxville, Zakai Ziegler late first half. Look at the hyperextension of his right knee. In the moment, it looked like it could be something very serious, but he came back, played the second half of the game, then missed a game against Florida, but in the 2 games since, he has been vintage Zakai Ziegler at both ends of the floor. With more, here's Molly.
Well, Dan, Ziegler told us he's playing with a newfound confidence that all started when that injury forced him to miss a game. He said that things are now slowing down for him, and the biggest thing that he noticed was that their team was rushing their shots, saying, I finally understand what Coach Barnes has been yelling about. We need to play at a slower and more patient pace. I'm finally doing that, trying not to force any passes, knowing when to push the ball in transition, overall making smarter decisions with my pacing. And he'll need to continue to do that, guys, to get some momentum for their offense tonight.
That's a great point, Molly, because oftentimes it's hard for players to understand, especially when they're younger, that you play at 1,000 miles an hour on defense, but you have to slow down on offense and play with a different pace.
Kentucky by 1 in the early going. Again, this is Perry, scored better than 5,400 points at Lyon County High School, a Kentucky kid, and getting some backup point guard minutes behind Lamont Butler as Kentucky turns it over.
After that split action, Carr should have shot that ball. He tried to drop it off to Williams. Just too much traffic, got a deflection and a steal as a result.
The handoff for Ziegler. Perry trying to stay with him. Lanier's had a couple of looks at a 3, haven't gone down in the early going. Gainey, and Oweh got a piece of that, it looked like, and it is Kentucky ball.
A great defense by Oweh. And anytime you're guarding Chaz Lanier, he's the one player for Tennessee you cannot help off of. And you should never have to make a closeout to him. You should be close, so close to him, a closeout is unnecessary.
Lanier leads the SEC, 3.5 made threes per game, the transfer from North Florida. Brandon Garrison, number 10, with the ball into the game for Amari Williams for Kentucky. Another good passer, and again, they run a lot of offense through him as the 5-man. The bounce for Kobe Brea.
Good curl action up top by Kobe Brea. He's mostly a three-point shooter, but because of that shot, he has opportunities to drive that he needs to take advantage of.
Milicic gets around Carr, but some help defense. Maybe Oweh knocked it away.
It was Oweh. Another alert play by Oweh.
What a season he has had. Misses the 15-footer. Lanier down with the board for the Volunteers.
In the first game these two teams played, the offensive glass was important for Tennessee to get second chance opportunities. They had 20 second chance points in a game where they did not shoot well.
Ziegler a long look at one of the officials after that play, thinking there should have been a foul call. Carr misses the 3, and Cade Phillips down with a rebound for Tennessee. Tennessee with just 9 healthy scholarship players. And at times they played with as few as 7 due to injury and illness. Both of these teams have had guys in and out of the lineup and playing through stuff in recent weeks. Ziegler, and it goes.
Whenever Zakai Ziegler drives, he's looking to spray it. So you want to make him finish around the basket. Obviously, he is not a tall player, but you want to make him take tough twos instead of finding open three-point shooters.
That's what Perry can do. In and out, though, on the 3. He gets rid of the ball in a hurry when he sees some room. Lanier, the pull-up, too strong. And Garrison the rebound. And again, for Tennessee to be its best, they need Chaz Lanier to be knocking down shots.
Yeah, he needs to start using some shot fakes. Let the defender fly by. But they're forcing him into 2s instead of 3s.
Oweh 1-on-4 by the time it was all over, and he couldn't finish.
Mismatch. Ziegler has Garrison on him.
And they're giving him some space. He'll pull up, and a foul called in the act of shooting. So Zakai Ziegler will go to the line, and Mark Pope not so sure about that one. It was early. It was before this part at the end. It looked like it was on the reach, but Mark Pope still looking for an explanation. There.
Well, that's not a foul. I mean, especially in this league. And that's not what was called. The foul was called in the act of shooting, so it was when he was pulling up.
Ziegler knocks down the first to tie the game. Okpara and Meshack have returned for the balls. Well, that call sure got the crowd riled up, as if they needed it, as Tennessee takes the lead. Trent Noah is in the game now for Kentucky. That's him inbounding. Another freshman, another Kentucky kid. And again, because of injuries to Butler, injury to Robinson, Noah has gotten more minutes recently. And Jay, he's been a nice contributor for this team.
They had some good moments in their last game against South Carolina. And he can knock down a shot, a good cutter as well.
You see Robinson there in the gray track outfit and the splint of sorts on his right wrist. He suffered the injury in practice on Friday, played with it, but played in pain against South Carolina Saturday, and a no-go here tonight. And that's a concern. He's had a great year for them. Mark Pope, first year as head coach here at Kentucky. Of course, played here a couple of years in the 90s, won a national championship here. He knows all about Big Blue Nation.
Started his career at the University of Washington before transferring to play for Rick Pitino here at Kentucky.
Brea got it. Kobe Brea, 45% from three on the season.
That is a Kobe Brea layup. You have got to have more pressure on him than that. The screener's defender has to step up.
Gainey off a screen. Can't get it. Noah down with a rebound.
I still think a shot fake would be really effective on some of those shots because Kentucky defenders are flying by.
Noah thought about it. The crowd wanted him to take it. Knocked down a three in the game in Knoxville a couple of weeks ago, and another one Saturday against South Carolina. Now a turnover. Garrison's pass is picked off by Darlin Stone-Dubar, but he missed the dunk.
I give Andrew Carr some credit. Gave a late reach and just bothered Dubar.
Garrison pushed way out beyond the arc by Okpara, looking for help, and he finds Butler.
Well, you really have to fight for your space to make a catch in an operating area.
Noah for three! And again, making the most of the minutes he is getting. Ziegler cannot get rid of Butler no matter how hard he tries. Another steal, this time Brea. Got a mismatch with Okpara on him. Brea the drive this time, too strong off the window. Well, Tennessee needs a good possession. They need a good look at the basket. Nice pass inside, and Gainey the layup. What a feed from Ziegler.
And he had pressure on him in making that feed. A really nice cut by Jordan Gainey.
Ziegler #2 all-time in Tennessee assists, and the runaway leader with assists per game this year in the SEC as Meshack is called for a foul.
Well, we talked about fighting for your space and fighting to be able to make a catch. But Felix Okpara playing in drop coverage when Gainey got picked off. That's a layup for Kobe Brea. And drawing the defense to help and recover, not good enough as Noah knocks down the three. Kentucky off to a great start.
Welcome back. You are watching the SEC on ESPN. And why wouldn't you, with the kind of year that this conference has had, with 4 of the top 5 ranked teams in the AP poll in the nation. Here's a look at the standings. Auburn, Alabama tied at 9-1. Guess who's playing who this weekend? Guess where you and I are going to be this weekend. Coleman at Coliseum. Game day will be there. Tuscaloosa. What a scene it is going to be. Florida is in Starkville right now. Auburn's at Vandy right now. Just every night there are such great games, so much action, drama, looking at the standings, looking at the seed lines. and just marveling at the kind of depth this conference has had this year.
There is no breather in the Southeastern Conference this year. Just amazing what this league accomplished in the non-conference. Heck, they got 4 teams ranked in the top 5 and the top 3 teams in America, according to the polls. And the analytics confirm it.
Yep. And if you are into bracketology, Joe Lunardi's got 3 SEC teams as 1 seeds and 2 others as 2 seeds. And of course, one of the teams that has been great the entire season, Alabama. They are coming your way next on ESPN. They are in Austin to take on the Horns tonight. Alabama ranked 2nd in the nation, 20-3 on the season.
Longhorns better have their track shoes on. That's a game that the Longhorns need. But Alabama is really difficult to guard.
Amari Williams just went to the bench with his 2nd foul.
Yeah, picked it up on an illegal screen. And they need him in the game.
Milicic, the handoff to Meshack. Gainey can't get a shot off.
And they also can't get in the 3-point line. Yeah. It's all been run outside the 3. Good shot fake.
The step in by Gainey, and he'll bury it. Smart offense there from Jordan Gainey.
I think the more Tennessee can incorporate shot fakes into their offense, the better shots they will get. Good cut.
Noah finds Colin Chandler, who has entered the game, and a beautiful no-look pass to Brandon Garrison.
It was all made by a great read on that back cut by Noah.
Milicic called for the travel.
Now take a look here at Trent Noah. He looks like he's going to be coming up top, coming off a screen, but he reads it. He's there in the corner, coming off that little zoom action, just cuts back door, draws 2 defenders, kicks it out, and then a terrific cut by Garrison to make himself available to bail out Chandler. Just excellent offense. And that's the kind of movement that Kentucky's going to need when you're playing against a super physical team in Tennessee that does such a great job of staying in gaps. You really have to move and cut hard.
Here's Butler flying inside and laying it in.
How much better has Lamont Butler gotten this year as a finisher around the basket? That was not his bag when he was at San Diego State. Outstanding player, but he didn't finish at this rate as an Aztec.
Let's bring in Molly with more.
Well, guys, in their last time out, Mark Pope told his team, don't relax and stay disciplined. He wants them to continue to play with physicality on Tennessee's guards. Give them as little space as possible, saying their shots haven't fallen. We just saw that there. And you cannot let their guards get into a rhythm.
Molly, thank you. Chaz Lanier, his first points of the night. Tennessee back within 3. Butler, short, and the rebound to Okpara. Butler career highs in so many different categories. To go with the incredible defense, truly has been one of the best point guards in the country this year.
Well, that game he had against Louisville with 33 points, he was perfect from the field. Just a magnificent performance.
10 for 10 from the field, 6 for 6 from 3. The only shots he missed were a couple of free throws, ironically. Ziegler turns the corner, up top to Okpara, and Tennessee fans have been seeing that combination do that all season long.
Well, middle of the floor, you get picked off on that screen. Garrison had to help, and when you help up, all Ziegler's got to do is lob it up to the basket, and Okpara is going to be there.
76th field goal this season for Okpara. 50 of them have been dunks. Almonor. He made over 90 threes last year with a Fairleigh Dickinson, and this is here, so Tennessee is back within 1 with 7:14 to go in the first half. The 2-man game working to perfection for the visitors. Ziegler to Okpara. 1-point game here in Lexington.
I feel like I've helped the team succeed by buying into the team's defensive philosophy. That was one of the reasons I chose to come to the University of Tennessee. I also feel like I've helped the team by excelling in my role as a scorer, and my teammates have done a great job finding me, and we've all helped each other win.
Chaz Lanier in our Wooden Watch, brought to you by Principal. Just about 40 minutes ago, the Wooden late season list came out. 20 players are on the list for the Wooden Award. Chaz Lanier is one of them. Zakai Ziegler was on the midseason 25. He didn't make it to the late season 20. No Kentucky Wildcats on the late season 20. It does appear to be a two-man race right now between Janai Broome and Cooper Flagg, but still impressive that a second year in a row, Rick Barnes has brought in a transfer. Dalton Connect last year, Chaz Lanier this year, having an outstanding season.
I don't know where he finds these guys. Dalton Connect was the Roy Hobbs of college basketball last year.
Milicic couldn't finish it after making enough moves to get himself a good look, and back come the Cats, led by Perry.
Yeah, he might have over-moved in the lane because he had a wide open lane to the basket. Just take it hard.
Boy, the Volunteers left the ball, and Otega Oweh made him pay.
Just a miscommunication. You'd rather have two on the ball than none.
Oweh, the transfer from Oklahoma, the leading scorer for Kentucky at 16 a game.
With the exception of Chaz Lanier, Kentucky's not going outside the three-point line. They're really trying to pack it in.
And now a Kentucky foul going on Perry.
Take a look when Otega Oweh comes off this screen, just a miscommunication. Zakai Ziegler was calling out switch. Igor Milicic saying, wait a minute, you're too small to switch on that big guy. What are you doing? And they wind up giving up a wide open three.
Always had a terrific year. Big plays in big moments in some of Kentucky's biggest games. Okpara right back up with it and lays it in. Again, Perry at the point. Butler back recently, second game back from a left shoulder injury. They're maybe monitoring the minutes just a little bit. Played 23 against South Carolina on the weekend. So with Robinson out and Kriisa still out, Perry getting minutes to back him up as Phillips comes down with a rebound off the Garrison miss.
The more Tennessee can get the ball down court quickly, they can get something easy. Almost a double dribble there by Phillips.
Yeah, almost put that ball on his hip, it looked like. Ziegler thought about it. Now the kick to Meshack. Still plenty of time.
Look how far off Kentucky. They're giving plenty of room. They're saying, go ahead and shoot a three.
Again, the lob. Phillips down with it. The turnaround will go to tie the game.
It's amazing how often Cade Phillips is in the right spot. He is always around the ball. And before this game's over, he's going to get a lob.
Garrison back to Perry. To be careful with it. Ziegler will take it away from you in a heartbeat. Meshack almost took it away from Oweh. Perry hits the three.
He doesn't need a lot of space and a quick trigger.
Ziegler uses a nice seal there by Okpara to get a free run to the hoop.
Used the seal and also a hesitation move to freeze Travis Perry, and then he just jettisoned past him.
Oweh blocked by Meshack. Perry. And Garrison is fouled underneath.
Travis Perry catching that little skip pass. And Ziegler just a little bit late, but he caught that ball to shoot it. And terrific acceleration right past Travis Perry, who couldn't stick with him. But that's what Kentucky wants to do. They want to make Zakai Ziegler into a shooter and a finisher around the basket rather than a passer that can spray it out to open shooters.
And Mark Pope just made a line change. I think he brought 5 guys in off the bench. Carr and Williams are back. Butler, Brea, and Noah as well. A lot of and battling for it, and winning that battle is Lanier.
But Tennessee's guards have really gotten on the defensive glass.
Ziegler, the step back over Butler, in and out. Butler the other way. Whoa, what a catch. A catch by Carr. Wide open Noah. And a good rebound by Okpara.
But Kentucky tried to push it up off a great outlet by Amari Williams.
Gainey. Phillips gives it right back to him. Gainey from 15 feet away, left it well short. Back comes Butler. Ahead to Williams. The kick to Noah. Count it!
Amari Williams must have 4 or 5 assists in this game. Seems like it anyway. He's been passing very effectively.
The second three of the night for Trent Noah, who continues to make an impact for the Wildcats. Gainey off a screen. And a foul. And a timeout on the floor with 3:28 to go in the half. Next man up for Kentucky with Jackson Robinson out. Next man up appears to be Trent Noah here tonight. A couple of big threes, and the Cats have the lead. Kevin, thank you. Yeah, the Vols took 45 threes in that game a couple of weeks ago, and Knoxville only made 11. That's 24% tonight, Jay. A totally different looking offense for Tennessee. They've only attempted 3 3-pointers in the first 16 and a half minutes of this game.
Yeah, 2 of them coming from Chaz Lanier. Missed them both, obviously, but Kentucky trying to pack it in and turn, especially Zakai Ziegler, into a finisher at the rim. Just staying with perimeter players and shooters.
So it's a 4-point lead for Kentucky. Number 5, Tennessee. Number 15, Kentucky. Auburn maintaining the number 1 spot in the AP poll despite the loss. Such a great season-long resume for them. Alabama's 2. Florida's tied at 3rd with Duke. And then 5th in the poll this week is Tennessee. Really, and all 4 of those SEC teams got at least 1 first-place vote.
Yeah, and those are the polls, obviously, which, you know, it seems like every time a number 1 team loses, they're going to be out of the number 1 spot. It's unusual for Auburn to have kept it in today's world, but the analytics say they keep it because of the body of work they put up. They're a clear number 1 seed right now if it were to end today.
And how interesting, again, will it be? Saturday afternoon, Tuscaloosa, number 1 Auburn at number 2 Alabama. There has never been a number 1 versus number 2 matchup within the SEC. That will change Saturday at Coleman Coliseum. As mentioned, the first AP top 2 matchup in SEC history, the 6th in-state top 2 matchup. And Bruce Pearl was part of the last one, too. Memphis and Tennessee. And football's never had a number 1 versus number 2. Molly, what do you have?
Yeah, guys, in that last time out, Mark Pope was really emphasizing rebounds with his team, pointing to the fact that Tennessee is out-rebounding them. He then went around the huddle, made each player talk, and mention what their defensive key was going to be in these final minutes of the first half, saying, let's make a great push right here, guys.
Molly, thank you. Ziegler tried to find Phillips on a lob, and Phillips was fouled by Garrison.
Yeah, out of the timeout, Rick Barnes going to that lob for Phillips. Seems like every game they find him at least once for a lob.
Phillips has been playing with a shoulder injury. It's much better now than it was 5-6 weeks ago, but he continues to wear that brace of sorts on his left shoulder. But range of motion and so forth, much better than it was several weeks ago.
He's such a good offensive rebounder, has great length. He's got a 7'2" wingspan and really plays hard.
What's your wingspan?
I don't know.
You don't know?
They didn't measure wingspans back then.
Let's figure this out by Saturday.
It shrinks when the check comes.
Made 1 of 2, and Phillips will head to the bench. Dubar is back in. 5th-year senior from Charlotte. Spent the last couple of years with Hofstra.
Tennessee's mixed in some full court pressure. It just takes a little bit of extra time off the clock. That's less time you have to chase Kentucky around in the half court.
Oweh gets it over and finds Butler. Get 2 of the best defenders in the nation on one another, and Ziegler and Butler tipped away by Dubar. Tennessee ball.
Good hands by Dubar. That would have been an easy basket. A good seal by Andrew Carr.
The identity of the Tennessee program under Rick Barnes has been defense, and it is no different this year. A miss by Lanier, back come the Cats.
Tennessee taking a lot of tough 2s.
Noah, his 3rd 3 of the half.
He is having a career night, and there was 0 hesitation. He caught that knowing it was going up.
Trent Noah came into this game with 24 points on the season. He's added 9 to that total already. And he is now 9 for 17 from three-point range on the season.
Kentucky really trying to spread the floor open middle.
Butler. Garrison will try a three, and he'll hit it. And Kentucky has its largest lead of the game. Kentucky now 7 for 13 from three-point range tonight. Brandon Garrison knocking down a three for the second game in a row. Just before that, it was Trent Noah with his third three of the game. The freshman again getting more time to play because of injuries here and there to teammates. Look at Butler shaking his head on his way back. Mark Pope is a big fan of Trent Noah, saying he plays with great physicality. He's still learning, but he says, let's project him forward a couple of years to when he's a junior. He thinks he's going to be a terrific player. And right now, tonight, as a freshman, Jay, he's one of the biggest reasons why Kentucky has a 9-point lead.
And for the most part, defensively, he's done a good job chasing cover. What a block.
A chase down block by Oweh, who then gave Lanier a piece of his mind to boot. Oweh wants some of the offensive end, and a goaltending call on Akpara.
Two big plays by Otega Oweh. One saves a basket, the other scores a basket. Tennessee on this back cut about to lay it in, and Oweh takes it right away from Chaz Lanier. What a big-time block. Essentially a chase down after getting beat on that back door.
And what a season Oweh has had at both ends of the floor for the Wildcats. Lanier into Akpara. He's got Butler on him. Carr over to help, and Akpara loses it out of bounds.
But how about Lamont Butler on the switch fighting Akpara? Got caught behind, but never gave up on the play.
Kentucky's on an 8-0 run. Remember, they have lost 4 of their last 6. Got a win over South Carolina Saturday. Beat Tennessee in Knoxville 2 weeks ago. But other than that, as you well know, Jay, the defense has really been a problem recently. But they have played a very spirited brand of defense here in this one so far.
Much more physical in this game than they have been.
Andrew Carr tried a three, but it won't go for him. Boy, Tennessee needs a strong final 50 seconds here to try to shift the momentum a little bit into the break. It has been all Kentucky the last few minutes. Gaining. Nowhere to go. No room to shoot. They'll try again. Deep one won't go. And a foul on the floor going against the Wildcats.
They got him on a hold on the box out.
And again, Tennessee, which took a ton of threes 2 weeks ago in Knoxville, didn't make many of them, but took a ton. 11 for 45. They still have not made one tonight, and they've only attempted 5.
And so many of those 45 threes were wide open shots. I don't want to say that Kentucky was daring them to shoot, but they certainly weren't taking away the three-point line. In this one, Kentucky's continuing to pack it in, but they're forcing a lot more challenge twos in this one.
Yeah, it feels like Tennessee's having to work so hard to get good looks at the offensive end. Amari Williams is going to check back in. He's got 2. So does Almonor, who's going to go out. And so does Garrison, who's on the bench. So 3 of the bigger guys for Kentucky, each with 2 fouls. Akpara makes them both. And now the shot clock off as the Wildcats can hold for the final shot of the first half. A timeout taken by Mark Pope. 9-point lead, Kentucky, here in front of a packed house at Rupp Arena. We are back in 30. Done in this arena this year, and each one feels like a huge event. Everything about Kentucky basketball always feels big. The size of the arena, the passion of the fan base, the tradition of the program. It's just a great place to come to a basketball game.
And as good a pregame show as you're going to get. That Kentucky's hype video that they play in Rupp Arena is second to none.
It is great. Little concern amongst the fans with some of the recent defensive performances, but it's been better tonight. They got a 9-point lead. Tennessee comes out of the timeout in a zone.
Rick Barnes likes to do that, but Mark Pope calling a play against the zone from the bench. Now switching off the man.
7 seconds. Williams. Carr. 3 seconds. Gets it off. No. And that is how the first half will end. Still, Kentucky made 7 threes in the first half. Tennessee didn't make any. And that clearly is the difference, and then some so far tonight. Trent Noah with 3 of those 7. Kentucky with a 9-point lead at halftime here at Rupp. Molly is with Mark Pope.
Coach, how did your success from 3 spark your team?
Well, you know, when we got a little pace in the game just in moments. You kind of have to fight the whole game for 40 minutes to get just a few moments of pace, and our guys did that well.
What kind of physicality did you see from your defense in that first half?
Yeah, I thought our guys were great. I thought our guys, their contact shows were really good up the line. I thought our guys in locker shells were great. We got a couple behind a couple times, but I thought they were terrific. We had some great performances by some individual guys defensively.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Okay,
guys.
Molly, thank you. 2 good teams playing awfully hard here in Lexington. A 9-point lead for the Cats, 35-26 at the break. Time now for the Jeep Halftime Report. Back in the studio, Kevin Agandi and Seth Greenberg. Welcome back to ESPN Super Tuesday, presented by Progressive. 20,000 plus at Rupp. Watching this ESPN Sonic blockbuster between the Tennessee Volunteers and the Kentucky Wildcats. And the big difference in the first half, Kentucky made 7 threes. Tennessee didn't make a single one, and that's why Kentucky's up by 9. Trent Noah with 3 of those 7.
Yeah, Kentucky's defense was excellent in that first half, but you're right, the 3-point shooting, 7 of 14. That means in the last 3 halves against Tennessee, Kentucky is 19 of 38, 50% from 3. Kobe Brea got it started, and then Trent Noah went nuts in that first half. He had 9 points. That's a career high for the freshman. Travis Perry knocking it down. And then Brandon Garrison got into the act. They have spread out this Tennessee defense and knocked down some shots. Tennessee's going to have to stick to shooters in this second half.
And by the way, I said the lead is 9. It's down to 7. Remember the goaltending call on Felix Okpara. My mistake to not say that right off the top when we came back. A clean block, so wipe the basket off the board for Oweh. It's a 7-point lead, not 9 for Kentucky. Go to the second half as we bring back in Molly McGrath.
Well, at the half, Tennessee head coach Rick Barnes pointed to the fact that his team is 0 for 5 from 3 and told his team to forget that. He wants them to continue to drive to the basket, saying, I think that we can drive to the basket on this team, but we've just taken too many contested 2s so far in this first half. He wants Igor Milicic to set the tone for his offense. He challenged Milicic to be the one to get their offense going and spark them, guys.
Molly, thank you. And Milicic certainly can do that. We are underway here in the second half of our Sonic blockbuster matchup.
If Tennessee keeps attacking the paint, they've got a better opportunity to continue to get to the foul line because they outshot Kentucky from the foul line in that first half.
Now back to a 9-point lead after the bucket by Williams. Got to respect the 3-point shooting ability of Milicic. And a reach-in foul going against Kentucky. That'll be on Otega Oweh.
And even though Tennessee wants to continue to drive the ball, you don't want to pass up a shooter like Milicic. If he gets an open 3, he needs to take it. He's a really good 3-point shooter. And that'll open up some more drives.
Again, the huge difference in the number of attempted 3s by Tennessee. 2 weeks ago in Knoxville against Kentucky, 45 of them. Only made 11. 0 for 5 here tonight. And as a team shooting just 35%. Those numbers will all go up a little bit. Milicic with the first Tennessee 3 of the night.
Right on point. He cannot turn down open 3s. Other guys may have to, not him.
Ziegler is a great player. Lanier could be a big scorer. Milicic is about as important as anybody, though, to the success of the Volunteers.
Well, Kobe Brea made a back cut there, a really good one, got fouled, and it was uncalled.
And Mark Pope went the length of the bench all the way down to the corner in a heartbeat to protest the call with a non-call.
His lateral movement among coaches is excellent.
Sneaky fast. Ziegler trying to turn the corner. Look at how hard he has to work in the paint. He takes a lot of punishment in there. You can see him asking for a foul call as he knocks it down.
Yeah, asking for a foul call in this league isn't going to get you very far.
Don't look now. Tennessee's back within 4. Butler. Almonor wide open in the corner.
One of the better corner three-point shooters in the SEC.
And then the Volunteers trying to get Meshack out in transition, but the pass takes him out of bounds.
Lamont Butler getting into the paint, maybe got away with the walk, but drawing the defender Milicic, and then Almonor wide open. He's an excellent cutter and an outstanding standstill three-point shooter.
43% on the season, second on the team, only behind Kobe Brea. Kentucky as a team shooting a very respectable 38% from three-point range on the year. Brea trying to drive on Lanier, now Williams. One-on-one with Okpara.
Wants to get back to that left hand.
And he will get the bounce.
He has got a ton of skill, not known as a scorer, but he has been on a heater the last 3 games. Averaging about 14 points, 11 rebounds, and just under 5 assists per game.
Lanier off a screen, but a foul called. Williams got the block. The foul is not on Williams. Was it Almonor reaching in?
Yeah, I thought it was Almonor.
Number 3 on Ansley Almonor.
Yes, Lanier was turning the corner. He just got hit there, and that's why you don't want to foul when you've got a guy like Williams back there. Give him a chance to wipe it away.
That is Chaz Lanier's 3rd point of the game, comes in averaging almost 18 a game on the season.
And Lanier needs to find a way to get open. One of the ways he can is start setting some screens, and then you'll find yourself open. As a cutter, it's a lot more difficult against Kentucky's defense in this one.
Milicic trying to stay with Brea. Now Okpara switches onto him. Mismatches all over the place at the moment. Williams calls for it down on the block. Milicic trying to push him off the block. Knocked out of bounds. Still Kentucky ball with 7 to shoot.
Whenever Amari Williams gets the ball in the post, he had one-on-one in the post there, but you really have to cut and move and give him a chance to find you as a passer, and that occupies the help side defense.
And again, if you weren't with us, we mentioned a triple-double last week at Ole Miss. 12, 11, and 10 assists for a 7-footer. Great handle, great passer. That one, though, tipped away and turned over.
Oweh stopped his cut. Anytime you cut backdoor, you have to finish the cut. You can't make the passer try to discern what you're doing.
Okpara the handoff to Ziegler. Will put up the 17-footer and hit to get Tennessee back within 5. Double figures now for Zakai Ziegler, first player on either team into double figures tonight.
He is such a great player.
Reigning SEC Defensive Player of the Year. And he's going to lead the conference in assists for the 3rd year in a row. Almonor with another 3. And Kentucky now 9 of 16 from beyond the arc.
Almonor so confident. He catches it to shoot it. Not ready to shoot, but to shoot it. And he makes the defense take it away from him.
Mark Pope calls him their anything you need to help you win guy. It's not just the three-point shooting. Almonor can help them in so many ways, but knocking down threes is definitely a big part of it.
And one of the ways that Kentucky's getting threes is they're getting the ball and penetrating a bit. And Okpara actually fouled him right there, didn't give him a chance to land. Almonor has been, the last couple games he hasn't scored, but he had like 4 straight games of double figures before that. 2 goose eggs in a row, but he can really shoot the ball.
And Trent Noah, one of the stars of the first half of the Wildcats, back in. 3 threes in 4 tries.
And this is a lineup for Kentucky that can really spread the floor. You got shooters at every position except for the center spot.
Into Perry. So Perry and Noah in the backcourt at the moment, the 2 freshmen.
At some point you think that Tennessee's going to bring a trap when they're putting that full court pressure on.
Deflected out of bounds. It'll be Kentucky ball when we come back. Early in the second half here in Lexington. The balls. Zakai Ziegler initiating some contact, but taking so many shots as he continues to drive into the lane. In the last game, remember, against Kentucky, that's the one where he hurt his knee, left near the end of the first half. Played in the second half, but clearly wasn't right. Did not have a great game. Only made 1 out of 11 from 3. Tonight, he's the leading scorer in the game with 11. He's got 3 assists, and he's played 23 out of 24 minutes.
He's got 3 assists, but Tennessee as a team only has 4. And they've got 7 turnovers. Kentucky's defense has really packed it in, and they've really forced this Tennessee team into a lot of tough 2s.
And a turnover. Ziegler comes up with it. Milicic, couple of fakes, and he lays it in. And again, it's down to 5.
That's where Tennessee, if they have a chance to win in this game, and they do, they're going to have to do it defensively. And against this lineup, I think they can put a lot of pressure on Kentucky and force some turnovers.
Garrison looking for somebody to give the ball to with 10 on the shot clock. Now Perry gives it right back to Garrison. Shot fake Brea. And an easy one on the weak side there, put back in by Almonor.
Just a corner crash, but a terrific shot fake by Kobe Brea. Let the defender fly by for that open 3.
No Butler, no Oweh right now for Kentucky getting a breather. Milicic stepping up here in the second half.
Terrific job by Jemai Meshack. Looked like he was going to curl around that screen, but he curled around and set a screen on Milicic's defender so he could pop out for that 3. That was a set play by Tennessee and well executed.
And Igor Milicic Jr. now 11 points, 5 rebounds in this one. Noah. Perry. He hits! And these 2 Kentucky kids, these 2 freshmen, have combined for 5 made 3-pointers in this game.
The 2 leading candidates won the award, Mr. Basketball, here in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. And they are scorching the nets.
Between them, 5 for 7 from 3. Ziegler lays it into the other end.
Boy, they want to force Zakai Ziegler to finish, and he's doing it.
Let's bring in Molly.
And that last time out, Mark Pope told his offense that he really wants to emphasize making space to hit those 3s. You can tell he wants to ride the hot hand of his freshmen. He was especially emphasizing Trent Noah, telling teammates to look for him. And then on defense, he said they're about to get even more physical. That is what we want. When they catch the ball, crowd them, get into their bodies to test every catch.
Molly, thank you. Respect the 3, but how about the drive there by Perry?
Perry and Noah have been fearless in this game.
They've combined for 17 points. Meshack blocked. The follow, though, will go. It's Milicic again.
So tough to get a block out on Milicic when you go for that block shot.
Tennessee is 7 for 8 here in the second half. The only miss was the block right before the Milicic putback. But still, they're down by 5.
Yeah, because Kentucky's not far off of that shooting percentage.
And they're getting 3s.
Kentucky doing a nice job of spreading the floor. Look how open that middle is.
Shot clock is a factor. Garrison sees it. Almonor saves it, but it's into the hands of Ziegler.
Tennessee has numbers.
Ooh, tough catch and a great finish. Terrific play there by Gainey.
That pass was so far behind him, but Gainey not only grabbed it, he was able to score.
And a timeout taken by Mark Pope. 7:26 here into the second half. Tennessee back within 3, but it is Kentucky with Noah and Perry knocking down threes. The freshmen are playing great in this big game as Kentucky tries to beat Tennessee for the second time this season. A 3 from Perry, his second of the night. And how about a little shot fake, a drive, and off the glass and in. Good game here at Rupp.
Let's take a look at how Tennessee got a 3 for Milicic. You got Jemai Meshack coming off a little curl here, and he's going to set a screen on Almonor. And that is going to let Milicic pop back out to the three-point line and get a wide open 3. Watch the screen. There's the screen on Almonor. You had Brea trailing, and now all of a sudden Milicic wide open. Really well run by Tennessee and a great call by Rick Barnes.
He's a terrific player. Had 19 and 9 in the first game against Kentucky a couple of weeks ago. He's got 13 and 6 tonight. Molly McGrath has more from the Tennessee huddle.
Yeah, Dan, you mentioned Jemai Meshack was very vocal in Tennessee's shoot-around today, and his voice was loudest in that huddle, making defensive adjustments, telling teammates they're getting comfortable shooting threes, but they cannot drive the ball on us. He was very passionate, emphasizing physicality to get ahead in this game.
When in doubt, Tennessee, Molly, thank you. They rely on their physicality. It has been a staple of Rick Barnes' teams. We have seen a lot of it here tonight. Kentucky, for the most part, I think, Jay, they have matched the physicality in this game.
Yeah, Kentucky's done a pretty good job, but they've got to do an even better job defensively. Tennessee's had some open looks in the second half, and they're starting to get a little bit of a rhythm on the offensive end, which they had none of in the first half.
How about this? The two teams have combined to make 15 of their 18 field goal attempts in the second half. Between the two teams, they're shooting 83% so far.
That's quality offense.
Oweh back into the game for the Cats. Lays it up, no good. Rebound Lanier.
Well, you're not going to get a better look at the basket.
Gainey drives it. Can't finish it. Phillips rips it down, and it's off Milicic's leg out of bounds to Kentucky.
Boy, that was a nice job by Trent Noah to get down on the offensive glass. Or the defensive glass for them, excuse me. He did a really nice job of getting there, because when you go for a block shot, that really opens up the offensive glass for Tennessee. They've gotten a couple in this game as a result of that.
A touch for Williams. Shovel pass to Carr. Phillips got a hand in there, and it will be Tennessee ball when we come back. Over to that, Jimmy and Carl Ravitch have the game from Austin coming up after us on ESPN. It's the SEC all over the place right now on the SEC network at the moment. Auburn is up 9 on Vandy in Nashville. Florida's in Starkville. They've got an 18-point lead on Mississippi State, and later on tonight on the SEC network as well, Georgia at Texas A&M. How about the year that Buzz Williams and his team are having right now? They're ranked 8th in the nation, and Joe Lunardi has them as a 2 seed right now. Just so many incredible teams playing out of the SEC.
Texas A&M is an unbelievable rebounding team. I mean, they have not shot the ball well, but it doesn't matter because they get so many second chance opportunities.
Yeah, as the old line goes, sometimes their best offense is get it up on the rim and go get it. So we are deep into February, which means March is next. And it becomes more and more about bracketology. Joe Lunardi has 3 SEC teams and Duke as the 4-1 seeds right now, and a couple more SEC teams in Florida and A&M sitting there as 2 seeds. He's also got, obviously, Kentucky and Mississippi, Missouri, Mississippi State, and Oklahoma, Texas, and Vandy as well, and even Georgia. He's got 13 teams in right now, and Arkansas is the first team out. What would, if you had to guess a number, how many of the 16 make the tournament?
I guess 12. But who knows? I mean, it could be 13. Boy, Tennessee has fought so hard to get to the foul line, then just missed those 2.
And Milicic, a good free throw shooter, 78% on the season. Butler is fouled by Gainey.
Butler had a lane to the basket, and Amari Williams did a nice job of ducking into the lane to essentially seal off weak side help. Tennessee in the second half's done a much better job on the offensive end of moving the Kentucky defense. In the first game, I didn't think they did that. In this game, they've done a much better job, especially in the second half.
Carr finds Williams, and Phillips blocks it. Gainey ahead to Lanier. Around and out. Boy, that ball was halfway down. Milicic comes up with it, though, and it's a fresh 20 for the Vols. Meshack. Good closeout by Oweh. 4 on the shot clock. 1 on the shot clock. And the rebound down to Butler.
Well, this has been a different defensive team in Kentucky than we've seen most of this SEC season.
Brea misses the 3, and a run out now for Gainey. And Butler just picked his pocket.
What a steal.
And what a pass. Oweh!
That is a big-time play by Lamont Butler. Big time.
Midway point of the second half. Lanier will quiet the crowd for the moment, getting Tennessee back within 3. Lamont Butler, to your point, one of the 15 players on the mid-season Naismith Defensive Player of the Year list. 2 Tennessee players are on it as well, Zakai Ziegler and Jemai Meshack. Butler into the paint, up and good.
Well, Kentucky is really winning the paint on these most recent drives, and that's going to open up some three-point opportunities if they continue to do that. A little floppy action.
Milicic gets open and hits the 3. Igor Milicic Jr. having a huge second half.
Did a great job of moving without the ball, and he's such a big-time player. He cannot pass up open threes. I think he needs to hunt more shots.
He's got 16 now, Jay, 13 in the second half. Butler behind a screen. And Milicic down with his 8th rebound of the game. Tennessee can tie or take the lead. Butler almost did it again.
And his shoulder.
Oh boy. Remember, missed 3 games with a left shoulder injury, only returned in their last game. And this is a huge concern for the Wildcats. The player that Mark Pope describes as the heart and soul of this program.
So good knocking that ball away. Just when hopefully it's just his elbow, because his elbow hit the ground. But you worry most about the shoulder.
And you can see he's reaching out with his right hand to high-five teammates as he makes his way past the end of the bench, and he is headed into the locker room.
Marked down 8:40 to go in regulation because he was a terror on defense. That steal that he made a couple plays ago was big time. Not only took away a basket from Tennessee, but led to an easy one for Kentucky.
Remember, they don't have Jackson Robinson. They don't have Kriisa. Critical minutes right now. As you see Robinson, that right wrist injury keeping him out. Travis Perry is coming in to play the point right now.
There's that big-time play that led to a basket for Otega Oweh on the other end.
Lanier. Now Phillips into the paint. Tried to follow it and got fouled by Andrew Carr.
Andrew Carr took a shot.
It's like you got to sign a waiver in this game. You're going to take a shot if you want to play in this game.
Shot after shot. They actually got Oweh on that foul.
Oh, really? Second on Oweh. One way or another, Phillips at the line. Almonor returns. Carr sits. And again, big minutes, critically important minutes for Kentucky right now for the freshman Travis Perry at the point.
And with Lamont Butler out of the game, at least for now, Oweh's got to be a player for Kentucky that really attacks the basket and attacks the paint.
And he may help bring the ball up. Brea may help as well. Amari Williams, when he's in there, going to bring the ball up as a 7-foot center. It's going to be Oweh bringing it over first time through here in what is now a tie game. Perry's hit a couple of threes in this game. He's dangerous. Brea's dangerous. Can't get it to go. Oweh got it back, and Gainey was knocked down to the court, and Oweh tried to get through him or over him, and wound up drawing a foul.
And that was really smart by Oweh, because you draw a foul just going right over him. He's not in legal guarding position when he's on the ground.
That's the truth. One more look here. 7:56 to go and a timeout on the floor. Not much Jordan Gainey can do in that position. Ugh. Injury to insult. Motorcycle insurance. A great scene as always here at Rupp Arena, and it has been an intense game. It's a close game. Tennessee has fought back from as many as 9 down. They have tied it at the moment with 7:56 to go. Oweh will be at the free throw line momentarily. The big recent story in this game, though, is the injury to Lamont Butler. We don't know for sure, but it may have been a recurrence of that left shoulder injury. He certainly extended the left arm to try to get the loose ball and was clearly in a lot of pain as he went to the locker room. If we get any update, we will pass it along.
And Kentucky going to the line. They've only shot 2 free throws in this game.
Molly may have more info on Lamont Butler.
Yeah, Dan, Butler was in visible pain when he talked to numerous athletic training staff members in the tunnel area as they looked at that left shoulder and arm. Kentucky still doesn't have word on whether or not he will return to this game. I'll keep you updated.
All right, Molly, thank you. So he's their heart and soul, their starting point guard, their backup point guard. Kriisa has been out over 2 months with a broken foot. He is a ways away. Jackson Robinson, who can fill in at the point, he is out with a right wrist injury. They are very thin on the perimeter. Gainey open, wide right, long rebound, down to Lanier. Gainey lays it up and in, and Tennessee has its first lead since it was 9-8.
Just like in the first game between Kentucky and Tennessee, Tennessee able to do a little bit of damage on the offensive glass. The first shot defense for Kentucky was very good, but they gave up a second chance opportunity.
And who can get them into their offense now without Lamont Butler being in the game?
Well, this guy, Oweh, needs to get into the lane. That's where he can be the most dangerous.
Turnaround won't go, and it's down to the Volunteers.
They need to continue to drive the ball, especially when they get an opportunity to drive Travis Perry.
Zakai Ziegler floats it up, no, and the rebound to Brea. Garrison, full head of steam, blocked by Felix Okpara.
Carr, one of the best shot blockers in the country.
And Ziegler speeds down the court to lay it in and extend the lead.
Not only that, he got fouled and it went uncalled.
It's been over 3 minutes since Kentucky made a field goal. Brea, backdoor cut and a foul committed by Jemai Meshack.
Kentucky can get more of that. With all the pressure they're getting in the denial, a back cut can loosen things up.
A couple of subs for Kentucky, including Noah returning. Oweh is going to sit. So it is Perry and Noah together in the backcourt again, along with Brea and Almonor and Williams up front for the Wildcats.
Excellent shooting lineup. But I expect Tennessee to really drive this group.
Perry trying to drive on Gainey behind the back. Can't get a shot off. 7 to shoot. Almonor muscling his way in, counted, and a foul.
Well, he really put the brakes on there. Hard right-hand drive, and then all of a sudden put the brakes on, almost a Euro step type situation. But really good use of deceleration just at the end. Euro steps right into the body of Chaz Lanier and still got the shot to go off the glass. Really nice play by Ansley Almonor.
And you mentioned he had been scoreless the last couple of games after 4 straight double-figure games. He's in double figures tonight. He's the leading scorer for Kentucky with a dozen.
And he had 12 points against Tennessee in the first one. Knocked down 4 threes. Very similar performance in this game.
Tie game.
Kentucky not going past that three-point line. They're trying to pack it in. Make Tennessee prove it over the top.
Ziegler almost ran into his own man. Now finds Gainey. He finds Meshack. Knocked away. Meshack gets it back. No reset on the shot clock. Ziegler. And down with it, Lanier.
With 30 seconds of outstanding defense, but Kentucky could not clean it up with the defensive rebound. Little horn set up top.
Gainey gets a look. And another offensive rebound, this time by Meshack.
There's a time of possession. It's a big one here. Kentucky having to guard for a long stretch.
7 to shoot. Ziegler steps back. Drives by Williams. Left hand up and good.
Kentucky gave Tennessee 3 possessions in one. And sooner or later, you're going to give up a bucket.
Zakai Ziegler, Jay, 17 points and 6 assists. Noah, 3 threes in the first half. Brea with a great defender on him in Meshack. Hits the 3 over him. What a shot.
And that was all created by Kobe Brea. There was very little offensive movement. And he just went with a step back and created his own offense.
What a game here in Lexington. 4 minutes to go. Ziegler gets the switch. Gave it up, gets it back. And out of bounds.
Amari Williams did a nice job of giving ground to Ziegler and stopping that drive.
Last trip down, look at the move Ziegler put on Williams, got all the way to the bucket to lay it in. Tennessee had the lead, but only briefly. Kobe Brea with a 3, and with 3:49 to go, it's a 1-point game. Thank you. A great Tuesday night in the SEC and a great Saturday as well. It'll be an in-state rivalry, Vandy and Tennessee in Knoxville Saturday at 1 Eastern on the SEC Network. Lamont Butler is back out of the locker room, but has a warm-up jacket on, and that certainly suggests that he is done for the night, and that is some very tough news for the Wildcats. Molly has more.
That's right, Dan. When Butler came out of the locker room, all of his teammates looked to him and they asked him if he would return. He shook his head and said no, and we did confirm it is a re-aggravation of that left shoulder injury, guys.
Thank you, Molly. Hopefully not serious. We'll probably get more information after the game tonight, but at least for the rest of this game, once again, Kentucky has lost its floor leader. And a foul away from the ball is going to go on Chaz Lanier.
Most of the time, Tennessee wants to stay with their assignment. They'll switch in emergency situations. And that time, Chaz Lanier got switched off onto Andrew Carr, and Carr did a great job of just trying to pin him down low. And his activity in posting was what really drew that foul. I'm not sure that he was necessarily going to get the ball. That's where Lanier just has to break contact, try to get around in front.
6th team foul on the Vols. Lanier comes out, and Rick Barnes goes with a bigger lineup as Okpara's back in. Williams defended by Milicic, going right at him and scores.
Because Williams is such a good passer, he can have action as a keeper. You get a cutter going off, you think he might drop it off to the cutter, he just keeps it for himself. The cutter goes off, he keeps it, gets a lane. And I'm not sure whether they got Meshack or Milicic on that foul. You could have picked either one. They were both right in there. But it looked like Meshack was the one that made contact first.
And looks like they did give it to Milicic, just his first. Nobody on either side has 4 fouls in this game. And Williams looking to complete the three-point play. Cannot do it. So a one-possession game, 3:23 to go, Tennessee ball.
They went with a little horns fade to try to get it to Milicic, but well defended. Oweh switching out.
Oweh such a versatile defender. Gainey gets a look. And Tennessee now just 3 for 14 from three-point range in this game. In contrast to that, Kentucky is 11 for 23.
I'm not sure that Milicic off that initial action on that horns fade shouldn't have just shot the ball when he caught it.
The ball in the hands of Williams. He can do this.
Especially with no real lead guard out there, he can be an initiator of offense, and you can have him initiate offense on the block.
Carr finds Noah. And a foul on Akpara, and Trent Noah will go to the line.
Not sure Noah's shot a free throw yet this year, has he?
He has not. This is a young man who did not play a single minute in the first 5 SEC games for Kentucky, but he's gotten a bigger role because of the injuries, and he has made the most of it. 47 minutes, has played in 4 of the last 5 games coming into this one tonight. 16 minutes. That's his 10th point of the night.
Well, he scored 3,700 points in high school, 5th all-time in Kentucky. And heck, the all-time leading scorer is Travis Perry. Travis Perry scored 5,481 points in high school.
Crazy. Noah now with 11. Perry's got 8. The 2 freshmen with 19 points. Kentucky by 5. Backdoor cut and a slam by Lanier. What a find by Milicic.
What a big-time back cut and finish. Where has that been from Chaz Lanier?
Brea will back it out. Williams to set the screen.
Got the switch, now Akpara on him.
Brea again. His second step back 3 in the last couple of minutes.
There is no such thing as a bad shot for Kobe Brea. He needs to shoot more.
He's got 11. Tennessee desperately needs a bucket. Milicic misses the 3, and nobody near the glass in orange. And now the Cats can walk it up.
Carr needs to put pressure on Williams. I know he can drive it by him, but he can also turn it over.
That ball deflected into the backcourt. 10 on the shot clock. Brea. No look run to Oweh. And all of a sudden it's Cats by 8. A 12-2 run for Kentucky over the last 3:08. Kobe Brea with a couple of threes in that stretch.
Well, nobody out there to create anything for Kobe Brea. He's had to create it for himself. And when Akpara switched out on him, just like the earlier opportunity, a step back, then he drives in, draws the help. Jordan Gainey falls asleep on the weak side. And a great lob play. What an answer by Kentucky. When you think the Wildcats can be counted out, they've got all these injuries. Lamont Butler goes out. They have a response, and next man up. Travis Perry comes in, Trent Noah. all making huge plays in this game to give Kentucky an 8-point lead with 1:13 to go in regulation.
Jay,
that's just big time.
That bucket for Oweh gives him 10 points. He's now extended the streak. He's been in double figures all 24 games this season. Remarkably productive and consistent year for him.
Well, Otega Oweh's had career bests this year in just about every category. Career bests in points per game, field goal percentage, free throw percentage, rebounds, steals. He's just having a great year, and I'm not sure how many people other than Mark Pope and his staff saw this kind of potential for him coming out of Oklahoma.
Tennessee had fought back, had taken the lead. Lamont Butler went out with an injury. It did not look all that good for Kentucky, to say the least, but they have responded in spectacular fashion in the last couple of minutes.
I mean, think about what Kentucky's had to deal with this year. Kriisa goes out in the game against Gonzaga, breaks his foot. So that's your backup point guard out. That was one of the leading assist guys in the Pac-12 when he was at Arizona. And then Jackson Robinson out in this game with a wrist injury. I mean, who handles the ball? But yet they just have guys stepping forward and making plays against an outstanding Tennessee team that came in with an axe to grind and a chip on their shoulder, wanting to get revenge for that loss that Kentucky put on them in Knoxville.
Just 1:13 to go. Milicic to inbound.
One thing for Kentucky right now, you don't want to foul and you don't want to give up an open three.
Lanier is fouled. And a couple of shots coming for Chaz Lanier.
Kentucky had forced Chaz Lanier into a tough two. And you give credit to Amari Williams for really wanting to go all out, but you just can't foul there. One, it stops the clock and gives Tennessee a chance to set up their pressure, and they will. Tennessee's going to come with full court pressure. You better expect traps and physical ones.
Fourth foul on Williams. Lanier, an 80% free throw shooter on the season. The injured Lamont Butler sitting beside the injured Jackson Robinson as they look on. A couple of free throws for Lanier to make it a 6-point game. And now a little offense-defense substitution. Lanier out, Meshack in.
It's really important here for Kentucky to catch the ball strong, expect contact.
Ziegler called for a foul, and it'll be a 1-and-1 for Oweh.
Oweh, a 77% free throw shooter. And talk about clutch time free throws. Still a 2-possession game. These free throws are gigantic for Otega Oweh.
56.6 seconds can be an eternity. Meshack out, Lanier back in.
I still think, even if Oweh makes this, Tennessee has to get it down court quickly and attack the rim.
Back to 8. Lanier misses the three. Carr runs it down for Kentucky and is fouled. 10th team foul committed by the Bulls. 2 free throws for Carr. And Kentucky getting closer and closer to salting this one away.
Now, Dan, that certainly wasn't a bad shot by Chaz Lanier. But in that situation, you still want to, I think you want to get down and attack the rim. You know that Kentucky doesn't want to foul you. Get a quick score and then put pressure on and try to extend this game.
Carr has played 18 minutes tonight, again still working his way back from a back injury that cost him 1 game and almost the entirety of the second. That's his first point tonight.
Kentucky had not been getting to the free throw line all game long, but when they're getting there in crunch time, they're making their free throws.
both. Boy, this game was tied not that long ago. But it's been all Kentucky the last few minutes. Lanier will try again. Oweh down with it. And another foul, which will give us an opportunity to take a look at tonight's Capital One rewarding performance. And as much as anything, Jay, tomorrow morning, Kentucky fans are going to be talking about the shots that Trent Noah and Travis Perry hit in this game.
Well, both those Kentucky freshmen from the Commonwealth, outstanding high school scorers, came into this game with an opportunity to play and fearless in taking open shots. Just fearless.
They combined to go 5 for 7 from three-point range in this game. And easily exceeded their averages, both set season highs.
I mean, Kentucky's the best three-point defensive team in the country.
Tennessee.
Yes. Excuse me. Tennessee. Kentucky has been draining threes the 2 games against them. They've shot about 50%.
They're exactly the same tonight. 12 for 24 in both games against Tennessee. And Big Blue Nation is enjoying every second of this one right now. This will be Kentucky's 9th Quad 1 win, their 2nd win over Tennessee as they win it going away. A great scene and a hard-fought game tonight here at Rupp Arena in Lexington, and a great team effort by the Kentucky Wildcats. As Jay said, next man up, everybody contributed. How about 5 wins over top 10 teams already this season, with more opportunities to come here in the SEC. The final at Rupp, Kentucky 75, Tennessee 64. For Jay Billis, Molly McGrath, and our crew, I'm Dan Schulman saying thanks so much for watching. Let's send it to Carl Ravitch and Jimmy Dykes.